Hi, I'm Liz Kukuldi, Head of Product Management at Cinegy. I'm also Product Manager of Cinegy Multiviewer, and I'm here to talk to you today in one of our new videos about what Cinegy Multiviewer is and why you might like to use it. Cinegy Multiviewer is a piece of software that you can install on a standard Windows PC or server, and you can use that software then to keep an eye on multiple signals coming in. You can keep an eye on traditional SDI signals from cameras or broadcast equipment using SDI boards from any of our partners, Blackmagic, Deltacast, AJ, or DVS. Or you can monitor IP signals using standard MPEG-2 transport stream inputs, such as you get from off-air signals with DVB, or from any of the Cinegy platform products we've got. So, I'd like to talk to you now about how that gets installed and show you a demo. I'm going to install Cinegy Multiviewer now on this PC, which hasn't got Cinegy Multiviewer installed. I'm going to show you the basic configuration required to get it up and running. So we've downloaded Multiviewer 11 to this PC. I'm going to click on the setup. I'm going to agree to the installation terms and just install all the defaults, so nothing complicated here. Once the install's finished, it's going to pop up the configurator and ask me to configure Multiviewer. So there are very few things I need to adjust on here. I can pop in here and I can leave all the defaults on the general page, but the important page is what on earth are we looking at. So by default, it's picked the mosaic layout, which just means we can tell it we want a 2x2 quad split. And then I can click in here and I can decide on this single first default stream, what do I want to look at? So I already have a copy of Cinegy Root installed on here, which means I can use our directory service to very easily peer in here and just pick a few streams. So we're going to get some off-air streams, and we're going to grab BBC One for that one. Then we're going to add a few more, and then we're going to steer this one on to BBC Two, BBC Two, and then we'll let this one pick up something different. This we will pick up the output from our cloud playout system. And then finally this one will pick up the security camera from the studio so we can see the guys laughing at me as I film this. So we just pop in here, downstairs camera. So what we'll do is we'll just turn some options on to put some more information on some of these and show some alarms. So I'll click through some options, but that's all I need to do to pick up 4 inputs. Finally then I want to say where I want to output this. So by default I can just agree to this, and then I will have the Multiviewer install complete, and then that's done. So if we then go to the desktop, we can run Cinegy Multiviewer, and we should see, if I get this correct, 4 streams come up on here. There we go. All 4 have loaded in, and I'm now looking at a quad split here, running on this PC. So it's running inside Windows, which is great. I can do some really useful things and resize this and move it around. But what's really interesting is when you want to say, hey, this is lovely, but let's also get this out on IP. So now I'm going to do the final part of the demo, which is I'm going to make sure that I've got an IP reserved to display on the screen behind me. And then I'm going to pop over the Cinegy Multiviewer, and I'm going to enable Rtp Output. So if I click Enable, Multicast, and then the address that's been assigned to me already is 32.28. And then I need to tell that to output that on the particular adapter, 186.3.28. And then we'll put that out at a 1080p 50 frame rate to get a nice clean view. I'll use H.264 acceleration, and we'll put out a 25 megabit stream. Turn some enhanced settings on down here. Just click that. So now we're set up with an IP output. So what should happen now is if I turn to this screen in a moment, we should hit apply, and if I've got everything right, we'll see this screen pop up on here. So I've just hit apply, and hopefully appearing on that screen is my quad split. That's great. So that's worked. We'll see that syncing up again in a second here. There comes the final input, and so we can see we've now got a Multiviewer playing on my desktop still on this PC, but also playing on here, and able to show us the view of what's happening in our cloud, what's happening in the studio. So that's a basic introduction to Cinegy Multiviewer, showing you what it can do with SDI in, IP out, and how easily you can configure something up from nothing. So what we're going to do in future videos is we're going to show you what other things we can do with Cinegy Multiviewer. So we can show you outputting at different stream rates, multiple streams, going through with alarming, working with notifications, and then introducing the layout designer, so we can show you how to build up custom layouts with multiple positions and multiple objects. So stay tuned. Thanks very much.